by the next day. So I want to welcome everybody out to our May meeting of the Family Search gig. And today we're going to be talking about German research on Family Search. This is our last meeting of the spring season, and we'll take the summer off. And I'm looking for recommendations or ideas, what people might want to hear for the fall, whether we want to continue on with the Family Search gig or can do something different. And if we do continue on, what sort of topics we want to work on, or maybe we just want to look at something that's more broadly dispersed across the internet, maybe resource pages or something like that for the different topics. So, but I'll let people come up with some ideas. As I said, we're going to talk about Family Search. So I am going to share my screen and pull that up. Okay. And so when we log into Family Search, of course, the first thing you get is the login screen. And depending on what you've been doing lately, that'll determine what you have there. Of course, you see Family Search has now new records from 16 countries. And if I take a look at this, well, this is February, so this is really old news. The latest one I could find was early March. But if we go down, let's see, there's some German records here, the North Rhine-Westphalia civil registrations, added about 1,700. In March, they added another 3,000 civil records for one of the German states. So they're adding them slowly but surely. For Polly, I'll let her know that they added several million new, about 1 million new Ohio records. So she might want to go check those out, mostly city directories and stillbirth death records. So you can see here that somebody recently added a Civil War service record for one of my ancestors. So, there's always something new to look for in the front page as you go on to Family Search that you might want to take a look at. But of course, what we're talking about today are German records, and we always want to start in trying to do our research. We'll look in the Research Wiki. So under Search and then Research Wiki, you go down to Search and Research Wiki and pull up that information. And
is this what I should do online?
Yeah, just go up to the top under Search and then pull down Research Wiki there. Yep. And so, if I go into the Research Wiki and go into the search block here, you see when I type in Germany in that search block, I get a lot of great topics like Germany genealogy, languages, handwriting, record finder, finding towns of origin, online genealogy records, population records, naming customs, church directories, and websites are the ones that first pop up. So all I had to do is type in Germany. I'm going to go select just Germany genealogy as my topic, and it'll pull up here. Now, an interesting thing, I got an email last night from somebody wanting to do Croatian research, and I've never done Croatian research in my life. And, of course, it's one of those countries that exists for a period of time and doesn't exist for a period of time. And it's, again, present. And so in order to tell that person where to find records, I just said, hey, you need to go to the wiki. And the first thing you see are these colored buttons. Germany online genealogy records, online research help, and getting started. And that's where you want to start if you're looking for something new and trying to figure out where you are in your research. The great thing about the Germany online records is it tells you the dates and gives you the information about what records are available. So I'm just going to click on this, and you can see I have birth, marriage, and death records, church and civil registrations, and I can see the dates. And then I can see the types of records that are available. For example, 1500 to 1858, Germany births and baptisms at Family Search, includes indexes and images. Go down to the next one, Netherlands, Bibliothèque Wallonne, card indexes, then Germany, Lutheran baptisms, marriages, and so on. And you see some of these are at FamilySearch, they're free, and others are at Ancestry. If you have an account, then you can access them there. Or if you're at the library or utilizing the library Ancestry account, you can still access them. You just can't, save them to your tree. You see the city directories, immigration records, marriages, Jewish records, military, deaths, World War I, divorces, bibliographies or biographies, nobility, obituaries, periodicals, and so on. So generally, when you're just searching in FamilySearch, all you're getting are the birth, marriage, and death records, because those are the important things. You're not getting these things about European registration of foreigners and German persecutees, or index of Jewish displaced persons, and so on. So you want to go in here and look at what types of records FamilySearch is referencing or finding that are useful for your research purposes. Now I'm going to go back to the German genealogy page. You notice it says, if researching before 1945, see German Empire. And so I can click on the German Empire genealogy, and now I get to see things that are prior to 1945. If I scroll down and then I see the old maps, I see how, where Prussia was. If you look, I'm doing a research project for somebody right now out of Posen in Pomerania. And the interesting thing there is, they're like, oh, my ancestors are all German. I'm like, yeah, but your records are all in Poland. So I'm having to go through and do Polish records research for these individuals. So, it's important to know the locations, to know where these people might have lived in order to do your research. You see city-states like Hamburg. And then you can see down below that the what was independent from Prussia, what was part of Prussia, which was part of Thuringia, and then the city-states of Bremen, Hamburg, and Lübeck. And then the territory changes. This is the World War I, World War II era. So you can see that, parts of these lands went to the purple ones went to, I see some of these went to Lithuania, some went to Poland, some went to Czechoslovakia, some went to France and Belgium and Denmark on the eastern side and the western side there. So you can see, your German Empire records information here. And if I click on that German Empire records, I think I'm going to see the same sets of records that I saw for Germany, because it covers the same time period. The other thing is looking for online research helps. This is where you can get, help for in your research. The first one is online genealogy consultants. So if you're stuck, and that's that little purple button there. So if you're stuck on something and you want to talk to a family history consultant for 20 minutes, you can schedule time and they will set up a Zoom meeting with you. And these are usually the family history consultants out of the library in Salt Lake City. But there are others that are in there that are serving FamilySearch missions. And you guys have probably heard of James. What's James's name? His name just left me. Blogger, presenter. He just did a whole bunch of stuff on AI at Roots Tech. But I can't remember his name right now. He writes Genealogy Star blog. And he's going to be really pissed at me because he and I work together, and I can't remember his last name right now.
It'll pop in.
Yeah, it'll come up when we get to the family history guide. I'll pull up his name. His name's right there. But you can schedule these meetings with those people, and then they can give you a 20-minute consultation. It might be something like, I don't know where I would find these records. Where would I be looking for this, or how do I find the hometown? How do I find an immigration record, or whatever it might be? They can help you do that. The second button there is the Family Search community groups. And these are the free research groups. You can ask questions, you can join it, and you can ask questions. You can get your documents translated by some of the people that are there. Some of these people may be living in Germany, and so they may be able to give you advice on where to find the records. And then the last one is the online genealogy research group. And, this is where you can post your genealogy questions. These groups are just like the old chat boards. You can post your chat question there, and then everybody leads in and tries to answer those questions for you. So, remember, you have those resources available. You have the family history consultants available. You have the chat groups available, and so on. And then the getting started button. This is one of those things that most people never even look at. But it starts out with the first things: how to do research. Identify what you do know, document your trees, decide what you want to learn, find the records for your search, analyze the information. And then down below that, it has your online learning. So this is important. If you want to learn how to do things and you're in Germany, you can click that online learning. And now you get all of the Family Search videos that are available. And hopefully they show up here. There we go. And if you scroll down, you can see this list of videos that are available and when they were done, who created them. You can see several of these are Catherine Schober. If you've ever seen her talks, she does a great set of talks. She's an online instructor. I attend a lot of her classes online, and she does German classes on reading, handwriting, and so on. So you can see some of these are from Roots Tech, some of them from the Family Search Learning Centers. Whoops. For some reason, there we go. So a lot of different classes here, and some of them are in German. You can see there's a series here where I'm showing right now. Most of them are in German, but there are the English classes also. So you see several English classes here. There are a set, I think there's 14 classes on reading records and handwriting. So I am continuing on. There are lots and lots and lots of classes. Let's see, how far does it go? There we go. Okay. And then there's additional classes in Roots Tech. And so you can go right to the Roots Tech library and you can search here for German classes. And if you do, you'll see some of the classes that I've done on German archives. So, all of these classes are available for you to use. And I'm having a little bit of a problem here because the Zoom bar, there we go, is covering up my chats or my tabs. So have you guys gone into the Roots Tech video library yet and seen how to find presentations? Yes, no, no, okay.
Nope.
So Roots Tech, just type in rootstech.org. It'll go to the Roots Tech page. And from there, you can go into the menu. Whoops, let's see. Watch videos, I think is where it is. Yeah, in watch videos, you can hit browse the library or search for a video. And so if you go to the browse the library, you can, either one will work the same. You can see there are some topics that are already presented. They pick out the best ones, in different categories: DNA, basics, family search, regional pages, and so on. But if you go in and go to search the full library, you can click on that button, and there are 1,500 sessions, 185 topics, 30 languages. And you can go in, if you know the speaker, you can go in the speaker. If you want the content type, you can do that. But I'm just going to go to the speaker. And you can see all 1,600 speakers. And there I am. And so I can just click on me. And so now you see these are my presentations. Now, some of these are video recorded and some of them are not, but like the ones up top where there's no video, adding social history to your family history, using census maps and newspapers to enhance your research. Those all have the syllabus attached to them, so you can download the syllabus. Discovering German archives. You can watch that. It's a 22-minute video. French archives, that's a 17-minute. Dutch archives is 21 minutes. Then I have community projects, that's an hour. And then there's some little online connecting your family community. We don't have anything associated with that one. And adding maps, that's a 16-minute. So those are the ones that I currently have on Roots Tech. But if you look at this German archives online, you'll see the video, but you also see the syllabus and the slides. If I download this video, I download the syllabus, this is, I think it's 8 pages of instructions on how to use the archives. So the German archives all have records on them, but you have to know which state you're looking at and then go from that point to, discover the records that are there, like the Baden-Württemberg records here, landesarchives.r-bw.de. And then there's a genealogy page, there's a record search page, there's 14 million images that are available for you to look through. But you have to know what you're looking for and find that church record, that date, and then scroll through them page by page. So, if you're looking at Bavaria, the same thing, looking for Berlin, Brandenburg, Bremen, Hamburg, Hessen, Mecklenburg, North Rhine-Westphalia, Rhineland-Pfalz, Saarland, Saxony, Lower Saxony, and so on and so forth. And then outside of Germany, the Polish archives, the French archives, the Danish archives that have German collections in them. And then a little instruction on how to follow through with the some of the archives pages. So, it's a way to follow through and learn more about doing that research. But I'm not the only one that has German information out here. If I go to the watch videos, I'll go to search for a video and let's see. Germany. Let's see, there are 35 classes on Germany that were done at Roots Tech. And so you can follow through and look at those also. So lots of opportunities to learn German research associated with the FamilySearch website. So I'm going to go back out. The other thing is when you're on the German, any of the pages, you'll see on the right-hand side, they'll show the flag of the country, and then it has information like Germany beginning research, finding the town of origin, getting started, online learning, record finder, and research strategies. Let's just go to record finder once. And it gives you like the order of records, birth and death. What are the things you're going to be looking for? Marriage records, death records, and so on. What sort of records will have that information? If you're looking for maiden names, where should you search? Immigration records, residence. So this is, if depending on the question you're asking, this is going to help you figure out which records you need to use. And then they have the reading German records portion of it here, so they can help you. What's the vocabulary you're going to be looking for? The naming patterns, the script, the classes, and writing, the writing guides. I keep the writing guide sitting right next to my computer, so I can see what the different handwriting forms look like while I'm doing my research. So when I pull up a record, I can go in and see that. So that's really helpful to have. If you keep looking over here on the right-hand side, you have occupations, military records, church records, obituaries. And you're like, yeah, this is what I really want court records. So let me see what I can find. And so this is the wiki page about German court records. And it tells you the history of the court records, what types of things you're going to find in them, where they might be located online, and gives you that background information that you might be looking for to learn more about those court records. Or if you're looking for emigration and immigration records, you can now follow through that. And I spend a lot of time when I'm looking for people's immigration records on this page, because I know when they immigrated. So I'm like, okay, what do I need to find? I need to find an emigration record from Hamburg in 1860. So I go through this list and I'm like, oh, well, right here is the Auswanderer list for Hamburg, 1850 to 1934. So let me search that one. Or Hamburg passenger lists at Ancestry. So I can go through the wiki and figure out what's that record set that I need, and then go specifically to the record set, the collection of images or indexed information that I need to search for. This is so much better than trying to put in a surname and hit the search button, because you never know if it's been indexed, if the record's just images or whatever. This gives you that ability to figure out what records are available and where I need to be searching. So any questions on that?
Yeah. Matricula and Archeon.
Yep.
Are everything that you find on those two sites, can you actually find directly in the FamilySearch library?
Right. So the question was, with Matricula and Archeon, are those records also available in FamilySearch? Not necessarily. So I'll mention that very few of the Catholic Church records are on FamilySearch. Part of the reason for that is that Matricula is free. And so Matricula hosts the images. They are not indexed by surname. So you can go over, you can go over to Matricula, find the town, and then look through the church records. Archeon, on the other hand, is charges, but I do find most of the records that I would find on Archeon, I find on Ancestry or on FamilySearch. So those are the Lutheran records, the evangelisch records. Yeah. So for example, the Polish records that I'm doing for the client right now, I can find them on FamilySearch, but I can only find them in the Family History Center or the Family Affiliate Library. So I can find them in this building or at the library downtown. I can't see them at home. That's the difference. Yeah. But if I was paying for Archeon, I could see them at home. I just pay the subscription fee. Yeah, and if you look, you'll see that it talks about, original and duplicate church records. Remember, this is the big thing. When you're looking at these church records, a microfilm of the church record is going to have baptism, marriage, and death. It may only have 5 years of baptism, 5 years of marriage, 5 years of death. And then they go another 5 years of baptism, 5 years of marriage, 5 years of death. There we go. You're also going to find confirmations in those records. Yeah. And so a lot of people don't understand how those records are laid out in that film, that microfilm digital layout. And so you need to understand what the title is on each of those pages. Is it Toffen? Is it Heiraten? Or is it Gestorben? Or, knowing the words up top are very important when you're looking through those records. If I'm looking through a set of records on a regular basis, I always I write myself an index. I said, these are the years, these are baptisms, these are the page image numbers, and then these are the marriages between those years, and these are the marriage, the image numbers. So that way, when you have to go back to that town, you don't have to go through all the search. You go, oh, I know it's between image 450 and 480. And then I can go right back to those. And as long as I keep that little cheat sheet with me. The Ortz Sippen books, there are a lot of those, and those are the Paris genealogies. One great place to do those is on GenealogyNet, Compgen, COMPGEN. And that is the German computer genealogy website. And they have a map of where the Ortz books or the family bookings are. And you can go to that map and you can see if your town is listed there. And if it is, you can click on it and then you can see the Ortz family book or Ortz book or the family book from that parish or that town. So, and then down here, you see Meyers Gazetteer and Kartenmeister. Meyers Ortz is very important. How many people have not used Meyers Gazetteer? Okay, I can't see you, so you have to say. But Meyers Gazetteer, you type in the name of your town. So I'm just going to type in Lona and hit enter. And now it gives me the listings for those towns. Okay. Now, Lona, I was just over at Lona last October. It's one of the hometowns for my ancestors. You can see there's one in near Vecta in Oldenburg. You can see there's one in Kassel, Hassen. You can see there's Sachsen, Westfalen, Hanover. I know that mine is the one that's in Vecta, Oldenburg. And so I'm going to go to Lona. And it gives you the description of the town in German, gives you a map, gives you information on the right-hand side about the different government districts. Of course, when you go to the map, you get to see the old 1870s map of Lona, and you can see all the surrounding towns. But then you go to ecclesiastical, and it tells you where are all the churches and how far the towns are. So if you're looking for a town, and I'm looking at Lona here, and I don't see a church in Lona. Okay, so where would I be looking? Well, I can see there's a Protestant parish a mile down the road in Bad Sassendorf. So if I go back to the map, I can see Sassendorf is right here. So this is where the church would be. But if I say, well, my ancestors were Catholic, where are they? I can then go down the Catholic list and I can see that there was a Catholic church, a Catholic parish in Bettinghausen, 2 miles away. So let me go back to the map and let's see if we can find Bettinghausen. And where is it?
Now a little bit northwest of Lona. Up in
Down.
gone.
Uh,
It's gone.
yeah. Oh, nope, that's Burlinson. But it's close. You have to find it in the map, or you can just type it in and, oh, there it is right here. It's right in the center. Right here. Bettinghausen. So now I can see, how would my ancestors have traveled? Well, there's a trail that goes right there. And so I can see that's probably how they got there. And then this is where their church would have been. So this is really helpful, in learning about that. I'm going to, what's that?
This is where all my family is from.
Okay. So all of mine are from Lona also, but if I go to the first one, I can go to the map and you can see this is the bigger city of Lona right here. And if I go to ecclesiastical, there's definitely a Catholic church there because I visited it. There's a church 5 miles away in Vecta. There's Dinklaga, there's Bochum, Steinfeld, Oita. This is where all my family's from. Holdorf, all of those areas here. Dama.
Mine too, Quackerbrooke, yeah.
Yep.
Neunkirchen.
Neunkirchen, yeah. So yeah. So Meyers Gazetteer is a great website to get that information from. But also I mentioned Kartenmeister. Kartenmeister is really a great website if you want to see if the towns have changed names. So you can search them by the German name, the old German name, the Kreis or the county. And so you can type in the German name of the city. And I'm just going to type in Lona and we'll see what it comes up with. And here you can see it was founded in 1783. And I can click on this and I can see, all of the information for it. I can get a Google map. Now this is what's interesting. Kartenmeister is the Polish German towns. So this is not the Lona in Germany. This is the German town Lona in Poland. And so this is why you see it now. It's the Polish name is Wosniki. And if I go to the Google map, I'll be able to see where Wosniki is. Hopefully, zoom out a little bit. There it is. And so there's Wosniki. And then you can see where that is in Poland. So this is really helpful if you have ancestors from Prussia, from Pomerania, Posen, and those areas. And you're like, I don't know, I can't find this town in Germany. Well, type it over here in Kartenmeister and see if that town is actually in Germany or if it's in Poland. So I want to show you on FamilySearch, if you go to familysearch.org/research/places, you can do the same thing. And you see, it gives me these maps of where Lona is located in Germany. And it's not giving me the one over here in Poland right offhand. But if I click on one of these and I want to learn more about that town, I can see what other names it went by. And this has only been Lona. You see some alternate spellings. This is Norwegian. If we look at where the map is. You see it's right there in Norway today. There's Lonebeck. And we can see the names here. Now, again, this would be very helpful if you were looking at Polish towns or even towns in the United States that have changed their name to something else. As I've always done, Fort Laramie, Ohio, which is where my family comes from. I go to names. There's the first one is Berlin. And so, I can look at that and learn more about Berlin and when it was named that way. So, remember that when you're looking for a town, go to the familysearch.org/research/places to get the historic town names to see if you're looking for the right places. And I got it. So let's go back over to the German pages. You can see the Catholic churches. Now, one of the things mentioned was Matricula. So you can see if you're looking for the diocese, you can see that whether the diocese is in Matricula, it's in FamilySearch, it's in an archive, it's on a different website. Archeon, for example, is over here. So you can see the different places that they may be. I'm just going to go to Archeon or Matricula real quick, and I'm going to go to the home page for it. Matricula, if you're looking for Catholic records, you click on the little map. I type in Lona, and it went Oldenburg. It now pulls up the map. St. Gertrude's is the church. I went over to Dinklage, St. Catherine's. If I go down here to Sudlona, no, that's just a pin. So I'm going to go to St. Gertrude's and pull that up. Now, of course, this is all written in German, so I'm going to have to do my translate the web page. Google Translate. And you can see here that it was first mentioned in 1188. The parishes, Dinklaga was formed in the 14th century. The new Lona St. Joseph Church was built in 1962. And it gives you the information about the history of the church, the size of the parish, 1817. The inhabitants, I like this, 3,552 souls and 673 fireplaces. You can see the tax registers and so on. And then I come down here and I can see the baptismal records. And, if I'm looking for an ancestor who was baptized in the late 1880s, I can just click on the little camera and load up the baptism pages. And then, find my ancestor. What I always like is they tend to underline the last name. So see the last name, Anton Maki. There's Bernard Heinrich. Can't read that one very well. Anton Bachmann. So his Wilhelmine Elizabeth Johanna, her birth information, her baptism information right there. And then you see her death information, 15 March 1895. Her birth was February 9th, or February 13th, 1888. Her baptism was February 16th. And you can see that the father, the mother, Caroline Wilhelmine Nyman from Lona. And then you see the witnesses, Johann Freud and Elizabeth von den Heide. So very easy to read if you're used to the German. You can see this one here. They live in Marschendorf. So a small town outside of Lona, most likely. We'd have to see where Marschendorf is. This one here lives in Brockdorf. What I found is in many cases, these are the farmhouses names. And so in Matricula or in Meyers Gazetteer, it'll tell you if it's a farmhouse. And so then you can get the information from it, and you can go right to Google Earth, and you can still see if that, or Google Maps, and you see if that farmhouse is still there. So, okay, and close that. Let's move over to the labs, familysearch.org/labs. And we all, if you've listened to anything that's going on in Family Search, you know about the expanded full text search. This is great for the United States records, for deeds and for wills and probate records, because you can go in, visit the experiment, and type in the name of the person you're looking for, and it's going to pull up all of the deeds when they sold land, when they bought land, when they had probate, when they had a will. All of that sort of stuff will come up in those. So this is where you're going to find your U.S. ancestors, along with some other countries, but it'll eventually be a lot more than just the US. There's also this find help with the AI search over here. Now, this find help is not a search for names and people and places. It is a search for topics. So if I go in here and say, how do I research German records? It's going to explain to me step by step what I need to do in finding German records. So let's see what comes up here. So it starts with, start by searching for immigration records to see if you can find clues about your ancestors' place of origin. Then use the Germany research tips and strategies page on Family Search for specific research strategies. Explore different research strategies and wiki pages, you're getting started, how-to guides, finding the towns, and so on. And you follow these. Notice at the ends of these, they have a little hyperlink. And so if I click on that hyperlink, I then go to the document that it's referencing. And so it's saying, go to the German Research Tips and Strategies wiki page. And so I can do that. Or I can go in and how do I find the immigration records? I'm going to click that hyperlink. And right now I get to a blog that talks about where to start and research tips and so on. So the idea here is that you can ask it a question. It's going to give you a step-by-step process, and it's going to give you the links to find that information. And in this case, it's going to send me to a video. Let's see which video it sends me to. Which one did I click on? Considering Archeon and Matricula. So somewhere along the line, there's a video of Archeon and Matricula in Roots Tech. Parish records. Let's see what that one turns out to be. And so this is a blog that helps you, go through and learn about parish records. So this is a great helper. The AI helper website. It gives you that opportunity to, ask a question, and then you can get into more, where do I find German census records? Let's see what it says. So it says that FamilySearch has a collection of German census records that you can access online. Family Ancestry also has some German census records, Genealogy Net, and so on. So, if you want to ask a specific question, you're not finding the answer in the wiki, you can ask a specific question. So I'm going to close that and close a few of these out. And if you've noticed now, if you turn on the profile quality scores, you'll see how FamilySearch is ranking the information that's attached to your ancestors. Are they high quality research names? Are they low quality? Do they need some work? So you can get a grade on the people you're looking for in Ancestry and see whether or not they've got sufficient amount of research to back up the claims on the information. So, I hate this thing. I'm going to go to the next page here. So we've already gone through and talked about the wiki, German research tips and strategies. That's the one that just popped up here for us. And you can follow through and try to figure out what you want to research. Let's go over to the family history guide. And anybody who's sat in on any of my presentations on FamilySearch knows that I'm the education director for the Family History Guide. And this is a website that is a free learning, research, and activity center for family history. If we scroll down, it gives you these basic ideas here, how to learn about us, beginning research, learn FamilySearch, explore countries, and so on. It helps you make it easier, more efficient, and more enjoyable when you research. And let's see. James Tanner. See, I knew I'd find his name. This James Tanner, he also does some of the consulting. And of course, there I am right there. So, see, it's true. I am. So again, what I like to show people, of course, you have your learning paths, how to use FamilySearch, Ancestry, MyHeritage, Find My Past, introductions, and Goldie May, and so on. But you also have your countries. And if I go into, let's see if it's Central Europe. Yep, there it is. If I go to Germany, I now have these lesson plans on how to research German records. Of course, the first one in every country is going to be the goal 1 research. And you can see getting started with German research. First thing we have here is a 4-minute video that's by me. So you can watch my 4-minute video about getting started on German research. You have exploring research. You see that it goes to the German genealogy page on the wiki. It goes to a 24-minute video from Ancestry. There are some handouts here from ThoughtCo and GermanRoots.com. There's the Neuschwanstein Castle. I think it's Neuschwanstein. And so you see all of the resources we link out to help make it easier to learn German research, German genealogy terms and surnames, effective research methods for your ancestors, learning how to interpret German handwriting and script, and then pages links out to the German states. And these go directly to FamilySearch in most cases. But then you notice the next one is archives and libraries. So once we're done with that one, then we can learn about archives and libraries. Notice it has a little lightning bolt after it. Those are quick links. So at the bottom of the page, we'll get quick links. And I'll just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Let's see. Oh, they must be, here we go. So here is FamilySearch link out to archives. This is a 7-minute presentation that I did on archives. It's a short version of the 12-minute one or 16-minute one that's on FamilySearch Roots Tech. Next one is church and cemetery records. And again, we can go through that and learn about church and cemetery records. And you see some quick links to ancestry right here. Baptism, marriage, and burial records. What I always find funny is notice it says these records are in German. People come to me and they say, I want to read this image. How do I, can't I get it to write these, are all these images in German? How do I get the image in English? Like, no, the images don't turn. They're all German. That's how they recorded them. That's how they're going to be. But you notice down here, it has links to Find a Grave and Billion Graves for the German cemeteries. Next one is civil registration, then emigration and immigration, military records, maps and gazetteers, newspapers, websites, search records, get help, and then geo and cultural history. So all of these, you can go into these individual lesson plans and learn how to research those topics. Now, the great thing about these is that you can actually create your own handouts. So let's say you want to make a handout about German church and cemetery records. I can go to the print button and it's going to create a print-friendly web handout. But let's say I really don't want to waste all my ink on these pictures. I can just close the pictures out. Or if I don't want this piece, I can hit the delete button and that piece will disappear. I want to get rid of this image. I can just click on it. It's gone. And now I have a printout that gives me the information that's on this website, and I can use this for my references. So no, I can't get back up to my oops. Okay, so I just stopped sharing the web page, but are there any questions based on any of those, the FamilySearch Wiki, the place name searches, or some of the other auxiliary websites such as Meyers Gazetteer, Matricula, Family History Guide, or anything, Carton Master, or anything like that? No questions?
Not today.
You guys took notes. You're going to go visit all these websites and try to find your German ancestors over the next summer, couple months.
Yep.
Watch the video again later. Go back and see what you missed the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I always throw in some good web pages, don't I? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of information to cover on, and for any country, I always start with the wiki page from FamilySearch, see what's available, what's on wiki, what's on FamilySearch, what's on Ancestry, what's on MyHeritage, what other websites are available out there. I just had a class with the person I was mentioning earlier, whatever her name was, I can't remember it again. But she just gave a presentation, and one of the things she presented was the German newspapers website. And, you can read all of these German newspapers. And if you can read German, but you can search them, are all surname searchable. So you can type in the names you're looking for and see the newspaper articles that they have that are listed about them. And so there's really great opportunities there, and that doesn't cost anything, to read those newspapers. So there's always a lot of websites that are out there that, are not used very often. But the archives, the state archives web pages, some of those are really difficult to manage, to navigate. They're very hard to find your way from, a point to where you can search for information. So if you're using the same state archives over and over, it gets easier. But, if you're just jumping in right away, it takes a lot of work. So any questions? Well, we're coming up on our hour, so no last minute questions.
Yeah, it's not a German thing.
Okay.
How is the interface now between what you can see at the Indian River County Library versus what you can see here logging in? Because I've been over there doing research, and it says the record's not available and I have to come here.
Yeah.
Is any of that changed?
Okay, so the question is, what is the difference between a FamilySearch affiliate and a FamilySearch center as far as the viewing of the images? Most of the images, the large majority of the images are viewable at home. Then you're going to come up on those that are not viewable at home.
Right.
And then, so you can you have the FamilySearch affiliate library, so the downtown library.
Yeah. And
then most of those that are not viewable at home will be viewable there, except for a very small number, and it's due to the contract with the owner of the record. So, for example, let's just say that a specific state in Germany has a specific contract that says we will not release these records other than at the FamilySearch centers. And then if you can't get it there, you just take that number and then you come here. Now, the thing is, here, there is the ability to sit out in the parking lot and log into our Wi-Fi when we're not open.
really?
And using that Wi-Fi and using a little hint that's on this backboard over here, you can download an app that should allow you to see the record.
Your technological beyond me at that point. Interesting. Okay, 'cause I have followed that route. I try home, then I go library,
Yeah.
then I come here. And I was wondering if any more of the ones that you have to come here for are now in the library.
When the contracts come up and get renewed, there's always the opportunity that they become more public or they become less
I didn't
public.
realize it was a contract. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so basically what happens with all of these records is that FamilySearch goes out, they contact the record holders and say, hey, we're willing to digitize all of your records. We'll give you the digital copy. We'll give you a full backup of all your records on digital format. And then as long as you allow us the use of those records in one of these formats, and it's open to the public, restricted, whatever it might be, and then that owner signs that agreement, and then that's what it is until that agreement expires, and then they can renegotiate a new agreement. So you'll see that in some cases there are records that would not be in the public venue. They're too recent, but they are viewable here. There's not viewable in at home.
And Archeon, is that available anyplace except actually going and paying it?
Yeah, so the Archeon has an agreement with the Lutheran, the Evangelisch records sets. So Matricula has an agreement with the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Archeon has an agreement with the Lutheran Church. And so Archeon's agreement, for some reason, is a subscription agreement, and Matricula's agreement is a free agreement. Why that's different, I don't know. But for example, I can find those exactly same records in the Baden-Württemberg State Archives,
Okay,
and I can go see those for free
okay.
online. I can look and you'll find them and say, oh, those records, you can search them on Ancestry or on FamilySearch. It'll give you a link, but it gives you a link to the Baden-Württemberg
Okay.
archive.
And I've done that actually through Ancestry, gotten into the.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So they may not be under FamilySearch's control. They may be somebody else's control, and then it gives you a link out to them. Yeah. Any other questions? German records are so much fun. Unless you have a really bad priest who writes like really, you know.
Born in 1700 was writing,
Yeah,
using a completely different script.
the old script, the old priest. Then all of a sudden you get to the new priest, and you're like, my record was 1 page earlier. Why didn't that new priest kick over that 1 page
Yeah.
earlier? So, okay. Well, I hope everybody has a good summer. I will be talking with Mike or with Brian now, I guess it is, about what our plans are for the fall. And we'll let everybody know. I still have the mailing list, and so I will send out a notice when we get closer to the fall season.
Thank you.
Miles, thank you so much for a
Thank
great
you.
season. We've learned so much.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's it.
thank you.
Really, just how to learn how to use FamilySearch, and it's just been great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thank everybody for attending.
Thank you for your time. It's wonderful. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
I'm going to stop recording.
So